Right, here we are. Now in this particular video we're going to explain, like I mentioned, what happens at this ID field. I actually took the liberty of creating a brand new table which I have named students records, and I have created a couple of fields: the name of student field, the age of student field, the sex, mathematics, biology, geography, total, grade. I've created all of those fields, and so I would highly recommend that you pause the video right now and try to create all of these fields so we can be on the same page. Okay. Once you do that, I'm just going to hold up so that you're going to pause, and then when you're done, you can click on play. Okay, I'm guessing that you have finished doing that already, and we're ready to move on. Now, you would easily notice that the way the whole information here is finally displayed is a good reflection of how your database is supposed to look like. Notice or remember that all what we've been mentioning before now is that as a database administrator, your job is to create fields. I'm going to keep saying that, or probably singing it like a song. So I'm going to be like, your job is to create fields. Did that sound like a song? Alright. Your job is to create fields. Yeah, okay, that sounded more like a song. So just keep it in mind. That is your job. You are creating fields. You're creating fields. It is at the point when your database gets to the hand of the user that the user's job then is to begin to enter the records. So presently we only have one record that is actually taken care of, like in the case of record 1. I already have full records there. That is the job of the person using the database. Okay, so you just need to be smart in creating the contents of your database. That would mean that you need to understand what the database should do in the first place, and so every content inside the database should be very, very descriptive of what your database should do, hence the name student records. Okay, back to what we're supposed to be discussing. I mentioned that we'll be discussing about the ID field. We've not really been mentioning about it all along, so it's time to talk about the ID field. And what does the ID field do? Let's see. Now your ID field does one thing. It uniquely identifies records in a database. That's easy to understand, right? It uniquely identifies records in a database. What do we mean? It's simple. Every record in your database, remember, these are your records, not your fields. Mind you, we're not talking about the fields in the database, we're talking about the records in the database. Now let me go ahead and enter 2 more records. I'm just going to enter some kind of gibberish, okay? So don't mind me. I'm just trying to be as fast as possible. So let's say we're using the name John here with all the information over there. The next name could be Jerry. The next name could be Karen. The next name could be see me forgetting names, isn't that weird? Damn. Okay, let's go with Mercy. Okay, let's go with Peace. Okay, I think I could stop there. Now, did you notice that as we were going, or as I was entering each of the records, I didn't have to click on the ID field, but as I entered information, the numbers were created instantly. Did you notice that? And so typically what we're then saying is that we have unique characteristics here. Now notice something that happens now. If I go ahead to enter the name Mercy again, I shouldn't get an error. Why would you think so? Let me let you think about it. I'm entering the name Mercy more. Yeah, let's just go ahead. Okay, I should ordinarily, what I should expect here would be, I'm putting the same thing, but it is not giving me any form of error. Why? All right. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Okay, let's come back to our description of what the ID field does. We said that what it does there is that it uniquely identifies records in a database. That is the job of the ID field. So coming back to our database, the ID field is uniquely identifying the records. How do we know? The first record, Nicky Roberts, is assigned the ID number of 1. The next record, John, is assigned the ID number of 2. The next record, Jerry, is assigned the ID number of 3. The record, Mercy, is given 5. Mercy is given 7. Mercy is given 8. Mercy is, okay, that wasn't Mercy, that was Mercy. Okay, the other one was given 9. Now, the idea then is that for the fact that the ID field has assigned a different number to each record, makes each record unique, makes each record different. You get the idea? That is the function of your ID field. So it is simply identifying your records uniquely. Now, going over now to the design view, that helps us then understand why the data type for our ID field is now auto number, and so it does the job of automatically adding numbers. And if you're coming down to look at the field properties over here, I've not mentioned this before, so just pay attention. You realize that the way the values are arranged is to arrange or to add numbers based on increments. So as you go to the next record, it increases by 1. As you go to the next record, it increases by 1. That is essentially what it does there. And the format that it follows is a general number, hence this is the general number we're seeing. So it just keeps going on and on and on and on and on. That is what is going on over there. So if we're coming to your text tool, you realize that we have a different field properties arrangement over here from the specific format it should take, which is not even described, to the input mask and all of this. I'm going to talk about this in a much later video if time permits. By the way, you might not find yourself doing any of this, okay? But in the meantime, just keep in mind that that is what your ID field does, and that is why you're seeing your auto number there, okay? Some people could decide that instead of using just numbers, they could want to use a different field, okay, to maybe identify something like a matriculation number or maybe a registration number, okay. So in that case, what you would want to do then would be to change this name from ID. Of course, it can be changed, okay. So it can always be changed. So we could say this could be reg number for registration number, okay. And we could decide to use number over there, but notice that it has changed the way it should flow. When it was at auto number, notice that the new values were set to increments, okay. So if you're going with number, you don't have any new values property here, so that would be a wrong choice to go with, okay. So you would leave it at auto number, and then we could click on save, and then go back to our data view, and we have that there. So if probably we decided to use this field like that, we're basically looking at the information, okay, or all listed that way, and so one can easily then relate to this. I will follow in place. So typically that is what your ID field does, okay. Now the reason why it is assigned your primary key is for it to kind of serve like should I call it a foundation for your database? Yeah, I think that kind of works. That kind of works. And you might not really understand the concept of how your primary keys work for now, but when we start discussing relationships, you're going to see the importance. And so the primary key would always be assigned to the field that would have the data type for auto number. Okay, let me just put it that way. It is a fluid concept right now, but as we go forward, we're going to understand how that works. Okay, but just keep it in mind that that is what it will be functioning as. So I'm sure that with the little I've mentioned, you should have a better view of how your ID field works, which have just changed to registration number. I should be able to change it. Okay, so what I would really love you to do now would be to having created this particular table, I'd really love you to enter as much records as you can. I think that would help you begin to see your what am I saying? Your database coming to life. Yes, that's the word. You see your database coming to life. And of course, feel free to enter the records over here and over here. Yes, I created a new field, great, where you could enter either a pass or a fail. So feel free to work that out, and that should give you a better view of how your database is working. Okay, fine. Now, to close this video, I'm going to now tell us something that you'll find yourself doing often, and that is the fact that you're going to always have situations where you have more than one table in your database. Okay, and to create another table, you don't have to close your entire program and start the whole process again. This is what you would want to do. Under your ribbons, just next to the home ribbon, we have a create ribbon. Okay, and under the create ribbon, we have several objects all arranged in groups. We have the tables group, we have the queries group, we have the forms group, we have the reports group. Okay, I don't want you going near queries, forms, and reports as of yet, until probably you've seen the videos on those ones. So just chill. We're going to go with the table. So to create a new table, we'll simply click on table. Okay, and then if we're going to the design view, of course we need to save our table, give our table a name. So it depends on what your table you want to use as the name of your table. So you could give your table a name, and when you click on OK, your table is created. You could go to the design view, and the rest is history, as they say. All right, so you can create as many tables as possible. Okay, you can create as many tables as possible. You can also rename your tables by right clicking on the tables over there, and then giving them another name by clicking on rename. Of course, one thing to note, as you've seen here, is that because this table 1 that I have clicked on to rename was opened, reflected here, I cannot edit it. Okay, so it just simply means that before I can edit this particular table, I need to close it. Okay, like so. Okay, so having closed that table, I can go ahead now and rename, and that becomes successful. I can now give it a name of new table. I will follow in, so I'll give it the name of new table, and that table is created. So opening it, I have the name changed to new table. So it's something that is worth keeping in mind from time to time. You find yourself creating several tables, several objects, several fields, several queries, and the rest of them. Okay, I guess this would be a good place to stop this particular video. In the next video, we'll now build up on some other things we can do with our table. What other functions can we do with our table? What indeed is a relationship? We're going to look at some of that as we move into the next video. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video and put into practice what we've been able to learn, and I hope that you'll be getting forward for the next video. So I would see you guys in a bit.